If you have ever felt like your heart was a house with no locks on the doors, where anyone could walk in and rearrange the furniture, where anyone could take what they wanted and leave without cleaning up the mess they made, then you already know what emotional dependence feels like for a Cancer. It is not a weakness. It is not a flaw in your design. It is the shadow side of one of your greatest gifts, your extraordinary capacity to love deeply, to connect fully, to feel the emotions of others as though they were your own. But there comes a point, and perhaps you have already reached it, where that dependence stops feeling like love and starts feeling like a cage, where you realize that the people you have poured yourself into have become the walls of your world, and without them, you are not sure who you are. That is not love, Cancer. That is survival disguised as devotion. And the 10 keys we are about to explore are not here to take away your ability to love. They are here to give you back the ability to love yourself first, so that every connection you form from this point forward is built on wholeness rather than need. These keys have been revealed through the movement of the stars, and they are arriving at exactly the moment you are ready to receive them. Key 1. The first key to healing emotional dependence is learning to distinguish between love and fear. This may sound simple, but for Cancer, the line between these two emotions is often impossibly blurred. You stay in situations that hurt you, not because they bring you joy, but because the thought of leaving terrifies you more than the pain of staying. You hold on to people who have already let go of you, not because you still feel the warmth of connection, but because the emptiness that would follow their departure feels unbearable. This is fear wearing the mask of love, and it has been running your life for longer than you may realize. The healing begins when you start to ask yourself a difficult question every time you feel pulled toward someone. Am I moving toward this person because they add to my life, or because I am afraid of what my life would look like without them? The answer will not always be comfortable. In fact, it will often be deeply uncomfortable. But that discomfort is the doorway to freedom, because once you can see the difference between love and fear, you can start making choices based on what genuinely nourishes you rather than what simply keeps the terror at bay. This distinction is the foundation upon which all the other keys are built, and without it, true healing cannot begin. Take your time with this one, Cancer. Sit with it. Let it work its way through your understanding until it becomes not just an idea, but a felt truth in your body and your bones. Key 2. The second key is the willingness to feel your own emotions without filtering them through someone else. Cancer has a tendency to experience feelings indirectly, through the lens of another person's reaction. You feel happy when they are happy. You feel anxious when they are anxious. You gauge your own emotional state by reading theirs, and over time you lose the ability to know what you are feeling independently of what they are feeling. This is the heart of emotional dependence, and healing it requires a practice that may feel foreign to you at first: turning inward. Instead of looking at someone else's face to determine how you feel, you must learn to close your eyes and ask yourself directly, what am I feeling right now, separate from anyone else in this room? What do I need right now, regardless of what they need? These questions may produce silence at first, because you have been so attuned to others for so long that your own emotional voice has grown quiet. But it has not disappeared. It is still there, waiting for you to listen. And the more you practice listening, the louder and clearer it will become. This is not about becoming disconnected from others. It is about developing a relationship with yourself that is just as rich, just as attentive, just as nurturing as the relationships you have built with everyone around you. You deserve that kind of attention from yourself, Cancer. You have always deserved it. Key 3. The third key is the acceptance that being needed is not the same as being loved. This is perhaps the most painful truth that Cancer must confront on the path to healing. Because being needed has always felt like safety. When someone needs you, they will not leave. When someone depends on you, they will stay close. And so you have built your relationships around need, making yourself indispensable, solving problems before anyone asks, anticipating needs before they are spoken. But need is not love. Need is a transaction. It says, I will keep you close because you provide something I cannot provide for myself. Love says something entirely different. Love says, I want you near because your presence enriches my life. And I would choose you even if I did not need you. The relationships built on need will always carry an undercurrent of anxiety, because deep down, you know that if you stop providing, they might stop staying. And that anxiety is the breeding ground for dependence. Healing comes when you begin to release the need to be needed and start seeking connections where you are wanted, chosen, valued for who you are rather than for what you do. This shift is terrifying for Cancer because it removes the safety net you have always relied upon. But what it replaces that net with is something far stronger. Genuine, unconditional connection that does not depend on your performance. Key 4. The fourth key is the courage to sit with loneliness without immediately trying to fill it. Loneliness is Cancer's deepest fear, and emotional dependence is often nothing more than a strategy to avoid it. You attach yourself to people, to routines, to emotional patterns because they keep the loneliness at bay. But avoidance is not the same as healing. The loneliness is still there, waiting beneath the surface of every connection, and it makes every relationship more desperate than it needs to be. Healing emotional dependence requires you to do something that feels almost impossible. To sit with the loneliness, to feel it fully, to let it wash over you without reaching for your phone, without calling someone to fill the silence, without distracting yourself with caretaking or people-pleasing. When you sit with loneliness long enough, something remarkable happens. It begins to transform. It stops being a monster that you need to run from and starts becoming a teacher that has something valuable to show you. It shows you that you can survive it. It shows you that you are not empty. You are full of yourself, full of thoughts and feelings and dreams that have been drowned out by the noise of constant connection. The loneliness will not destroy you, Cancer, but the fear of it might. And the only way to overcome that fear is to face it, gently, patiently, with the same compassion you would show to anyone else who is afraid. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Key 5. The fifth key is learning to validate yourself without external confirmation. You have spent your life looking to others for proof that you are enough. A word of praise, a gesture of affection, a sign that someone sees you and values what you bring. These have been the currency of your self-worth. And when they are absent, when the praise does not come, when the affection dries up, when no one seems to notice your efforts, you crumble. Because without external validation, you are not sure that you matter. But here is what the universe is trying to show you, Cancer. You matter regardless of whether anyone tells you so. Your worth does not increase when someone compliments you, and it does not decrease when someone ignores you. It is constant, unchanging, built into the fabric of who you are. Learning to validate yourself is not about becoming arrogant or dismissing the kindness of others. It is about building an internal foundation that does not crack every time external approval is withdrawn. It means looking in the mirror and knowing, without needing anyone else to confirm it, that you are worthy of love, of respect, of gentleness, of all the things you so freely give to others. This practice takes time, especially for a sign that is so deeply wired for connection. But every moment you spend validating yourself is a moment you are healing the root of your dependence, and that root, once healed, can no longer hold you prisoner. Key 6. The sixth key is the recognition that your past does not have to dictate your patterns. Many of Cancer's emotional dependencies were formed in childhood, in the early experiences of connection and loss that shaped the way you relate to love. Perhaps you learned early that love was conditional, that it came and went based on your behavior. Perhaps you learned that the safest way to keep love close was to make yourself essential, to be the one who gives, who soothes, who holds everything together. These patterns served you then. They kept you safe in an environment where safety was not guaranteed. But you are no longer that child, Cancer. You are an adult with the power to choose differently, to respond rather than react, to build new patterns that serve the life you are living now rather than the life you lived decades ago. Healing does not mean erasing the past. It means understanding it well enough to stop repeating it. It means seeing the old patterns for what they are, survival strategies that have outlived their purpose, and gently replacing them with new ways of connecting that do not require you to sacrifice yourself. The stars are supporting this transformation right now, offering you the clarity and the courage to break cycles that have been running for longer than you can remember. You do not have to do it all at once, but you do have to start. And the fact that you are hearing these words right now tells me that you have already begun. Key 7. The seventh key is the practice of saying no without offering an explanation. Cancer apologizes for existing. You explain yourself constantly, justifying every decision, every boundary, every moment of self-care as though you are on trial and the jury is everyone you have ever loved. But saying no is a complete sentence. It does not require a defense. It does not need to be wrapped in reasons or softened with apologies. When you say no and then immediately explain why, you are inviting negotiation. You are giving the other person ammunition to argue with your boundary, to find the holes in your reasoning, to convince you that you should say yes instead. And because Cancer hates conflict because you want everyone to be happy, you often cave. The no becomes a maybe, and the maybe becomes a yes, and once again you have given away something that was meant to protect you. Healing emotional dependence requires you to practice the art of the unexplained no. No, I cannot do that. No, I am not available. No, that does not work for me. Period. Full stop. The discomfort you feel in those moments is not evidence that you are being unkind. It is evidence that you are changing, growing, becoming someone who values their own peace as much as they value the peace of others. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting. It's about moving. Key 8. The 8th key is the willingness to let people be disappointed in you. This is the key that Cancer resists the most, because your entire emotional architecture is designed to prevent disappointment in others. You anticipate, you adjust, you contort yourself into whatever shape is needed to ensure that no one is ever let down by you. And while this makes you an incredibly loyal and attentive partner, friend and family member, it also makes you a prisoner. Because when you cannot bear to disappoint anyone, you become a servant to their expectations rather than the author of your own life. Healing comes when you begin to accept that disappointment is a normal, healthy, inevitable part of human connection. People will be disappointed in you, not because you are failing, but because you are a separate person with your own needs, desires, and limitations. And their disappointment is theirs to process, not yours to prevent. This does not mean being callous or indifferent to the feelings of others. It means understanding that you are responsible for your own actions, not for everyone else's emotional reactions to those actions. When you release yourself from the impossible task of keeping everyone happy, you create space for something extraordinary. The freedom to live your own life, make your own choices, and follow your own path without the constant weight of other people's expectations pressing down on your shoulders. Key 9. The 9th key is developing interests and passions that belong entirely to you. When emotional dependence runs deep, you often lose track of what you enjoy independently of the people you are connected to. Your hobbies become their hobbies. Your interests become shaped by what they find interesting. Your goals become extensions of their goals. And slowly, without even noticing, you disappear into the relationship, becoming a reflection rather than a person. Healing this requires you to rediscover what lights you up when no one is watching. What would you spend your time on if there were no one to impress, no one to please, no one whose approval you were seeking? What did you love before you learned to love through others? These questions may take time to answer, because the person underneath all those layers of accommodation may feel unfamiliar to you. But she is there, Cancer. He is there. That essential self that existed before the dependence took root is still alive, still curious, still capable of passion and wonder and delight. Reconnecting with that self is one of the most powerful acts of healing you can undertake. It reminds you that you are a complete person, with your own tastes, your own dreams, your own sources of joy that do not depend on anyone else's participation or approval. And from that completeness, you can enter relationships as a whole person, not as a fragment searching for the piece that will make you feel whole. Key 10. The 10th and final key is the understanding that healing emotional dependence is not a destination but a practice. You will not wake up one morning completely free from the patterns that have defined your emotional life for decades. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when the old dependence rises up and pulls you back into familiar territory. There will be days when the loneliness feels unbearable and the temptation to reach for someone, anyone, just to fill the emptiness, will be overwhelming. And that is okay. Healing is not a straight line. It is a spiral, and sometimes the spiral curves back toward places you thought you had left behind. But each time you return to those places, you return with more wisdom, more awareness, more tools to navigate the terrain. You are not failing when you stumble. You are simply learning what it means to walk a new path after a lifetime of walking the old one. Be patient with yourself, Cancer. Be as gentle with your own process as you would be with someone you love deeply, because that is what this journey requires above all else. The willingness to love yourself through the mess, through the mistakes, through the moments when everything feels like it is falling apart. It is not falling apart. It is falling into place in its own time, in its own way, according to a design that the universe has been preparing for you long before you were ready to see it. The healing that is available to you right now is real, Cancer. It is not a fantasy or a distant hope. It is a living, breathing possibility that exists in this very moment. The emotional dependence that has shaped your relationships is not who you are. It is something you learned, and anything that can be learned can be unlearned. The keys are in your hands. The door is in front of you. And the universe is standing behind you, ready to catch you if you stumble, ready to celebrate with you when you finally walk through. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.